least. Job.
That really looks good. Thank you.
Money.
And I think we'll want to, any words you have right now while they're fresh for Bob and for us would be appreciated on what did it.
Like you said, it took a little bit of wiggling and kind of pushing pretty good to get the 14 rolls of tape up in there. Yeah. And then it just kind of stayed put. I felt like a little action on the ball. I don't know if it went all the way up, but I felt a little bit of action on the ball. And then I put the wrench in to complete the maneuver.
So you think you got both of them released with the pliers, or just
one of them, the one more towards the solar array? It definitely felt like a ka-thunk when it finally went all the way in. The other one was sort of mildly feedback.
Okay.
Anyway.
And we copy all, Chris. I think the way the timeline's shaping up here is we'll clean up your present work site and then just end up repacking the ORU bag and taking it out to the other H fixture where we'll do it together with Bob.
Okay, sounds good.
You just saw the completion, a success for Chris Cassidy now that he's removed the 1A-H fixture.
Yeah, that was a pretty slick use of available tools on the space station. Nice work, you guys.
Copy, thanks. Fingers crossed for the one to go.
Cassidy has now removed the 1A-H fixture and will head to help Bob Benken at the 3B-H fixture on the starboard side of the S6 truss. Once he's finished cleanup, his
Copy, Bob. Thanks. Should be two more.
Once he has finished the cleanup for his work site, he will then move to the 3B-H fixture on the S6 truss.
Josh, I've got the final 2 scoops for the cool-off bag.
Copy, Bob. We should be ready to inventory that bag when you are. And Chris, I see you cleaning up the bag. If you get ahead of us, a reminder that we want some GoPro or camera imagery of that GSE pad before you leave your work site.
Okay, you bet.
Okay, so Bob, whenever you're ready, we'll do the inventory next.
Okay, Josh, on the outside of the bag, there is a large, small, adjustable tether and a small, adjustable tether.
Copy, Bob.
Inside the bag is a lot of stuff. There is a ret with a pit pin, a 9-inch hex driver, and a scoop.
Copy.
There's a long duration tied-on tether with an integral long wire tie attached to it.
Copy.
There is a ratchet wrench with a palm wheel with 2 rets in series.
Copy.
There is a gap spanner chain with a wire tie on an integral ret.
Copy.
There's an adjustable tether with a single onto a integral ret with a single scoop.
Copy.
There's a second adjustable with a scoop, to an integral ret with a scoop and a gap spanner chain.
Copy.
There's an additional gap spanner chain with an integral ret. And there is a ret attached to the inside of the bag. And then an additional scoop and a gas spanner chain combo, I believe, and I think that rounds it out.
Copy, Bob. Stand by.
Actually, one of the gap spanner chains appears to be on a ret. I don't know if I reported that as integral or not with the in here.
And Bob, we're still having a look here. Just give me 2 more seconds. And so, Bob, it sounds like we're down just one adjustable. We're wondering if it's possible that there's one extra adjustable in there hidden behind all that stuff that we may not have called.
Each of the adjustables, I believe, is on a... How many adjustables do you think you have? To be...
And in total, we're looking for 3 internal adjustable equipment tethers. If it helps, one, in my mind, one would have a scoop, one would have a scoop and a gap spanner, and one is blank. I think that's what I heard from you.
I've got the one with a scoop and blank. I've got one with a scoop and a gap spanner. I have a third with a scoop and gap spanner.
Okay, thank you, Bob. That solves it. We're good for you to pack the bag up.
Okay.
Video survey complete. Picking up the rebag and heading out.
Copy that, Chris. And just as you move there, Chris, it's really going to be your guys' call on this, who goes up the 3 Bravo BGA for that H fixture. We still need to get the crew log bag bundled to an APFR. So if it's easier, Chris, you guys want to do it, you can go ahead and do that. Just heads up on the safety tethers, because they'll probably end up crossing if you swap roles.
I think Bob should get to use the tools that he built.
I don't have any pride, though. Chris, if you're ready to go, either do it or take pictures or something, whatever you think.
You guys could also trade bags, so lots of options. We'll leave it to you.
All right. It was kind of fun, Bob. We should do it.
Okay. It was fun to inventory this bag. You should have inventoried this bag.
I should do it, huh?
You should do it. Definitely, you should do it. Obviously.
Now with completed cleanup, Bob Benken will head to the 3BH fixture to begin its removal. Cassidy is now available to assist now that his 1AH fixture removal has completed.
Leave that back there. I'll take care of it. I'll move it over while you're...
I'll just bring it down if that's...
Oh, okay.
Makes sense. Like one hook away from having it free, so yeah, may as well just bring it. Okay. I have the red on it, and I'm going to bring it down. Sounds like the thing to do is go straight to the flyer combo.
I think so.
We concur.
I think so. First hour of PET went by quickly. I guess we had about 10 minutes of display anomaly.
Yeah.
You're getting out there, I guess, around this corner where I am. Maybe I'm in your way.
Yeah, we'll have to manage the tethers here in just a second, I think.
Okay.
It appears that both crew members have made it to the work site.
And it's on the same adjustable as the combo wrench.
Okay.
So I might just move combo wrench and the flyer.
Okay.
Into one assembly. I think that'd be easier for you.
We copy, no concern.
So,
The crew life bag is bundled onto the PFR.
okay, copy.
Copy, Bob. And Bob, can you just confirm that ingress aid was stowed?
The ingress aid was stowed. It was stowed on the previous EVA.
Copy, thanks.
So that's two adjustables, the flyer and the wrench.
Okay.
And this wrench going to the bag, so. Okay. Okay, I see you rated, and I will release the bag rep. You've got it.
Okay, I've got those tools.
And then I think you need a trash bag.
I've got a trash bag.
Oh, that's right. And probably got to get out of your way. Yeah, I'm on the non-radiator side, yep.
You are now getting a helmet view from Bob Benken. Once they finish prepping the work site, the two will work on removing the 3BH fixture.
Is there a dead end sign out there? Not to be.
Yeah. Don't see it. What body position did you use?
Kind of 90 degrees, like wrapped around, my belly wrapped around the canister. Or the pliers. And then I put my feet parallel to the handrail, like we talked about, the push-pull method.
Okay.
For the wrench.
Should have given you the still camera.
Oh, yeah.
There was a GoPro right by your
Yeah,
left
okay.
hand.
Okay.
Bob, we see you arrived at the work site. You'll want to tether that H fixture to a handrail and then prep the small trash bag.
The H fixture is tethered to the handrail.
Copy, Bob.
Put on the trash bag.
Roger. And Chris, we're just talking about timeline down here. We are ahead, so to us it makes sense for you to remain at the work site for a few extra minutes just in case another set of hands is needed.
Totally agree. No rush to go anywhere.
The trash bag is prepped.
Copy, Bob.
Proves that it's still taking pictures.
Yeah, I agree.
We copy. Bob, Bravo 7, counterclockwise 1.
Copy. Bravo 7, counter 1.
One to 2 turns each, just breaking torque on all 4 bolts initially.
Copy.
Now at the 3BH fixture, Bob Benken will go through the same procedures as Chris Cassidy, untightening the 4 bolts with the PGT and using the combo wrench and pliers to pry the fixture away from the GSE pad.
Focus broke on the top left bolt. The top right.
Copy. What was the turn count on the first one?
A quarter turn.
Copy.
A full 1 to 2. Sorry, Josh, do you want a full 1 to 2 turns on each of these or just to break the torque?
And Bob, as long as the torque's broken, you're fine at a quarter, so we're good to keep going.
Top right is broken. Bottom left is broken.
Copy. Are they all about a quarter turns?
All 4 bolts, torque is broken, approximately 1.
Okay, we copy a quarter on all, and all 4 broken. We'll move on to the normal bolt turning. So now we're going through all 4 bolts again. Order is at your discretion. We don't want to go past 12, so a maximum of 12 turns. So, 11 3/4 is what you have left on all 4.
Okay, copy. I'll start on the top left bolt.
Roger.
For you, Chris, these came off at about 8 or 9.
1 plus 9, 9. Yeah, 10, closer to 10. Although I think it truly was out maybe a half or a bit before that. Yeah.
Handing over in 20 seconds.
8 turns. They got this one.
Copy 8 turns.
Top left is out at 8 turns. Moving to the top right.
Copy.
We are currently in a handover as our tracking satellites move between one another. We're going to have views of the International Space Station Flight Control Room. The ISS is currently 262 statute miles above Mongolia.
Yeah, we're back with you. We'll be looking for the turns on the upper right bolt.
right bolt released at 9 turns. I think it came out a little bit before then, but you're pushing on the tool so you don't feel it. But 9 turns on the top right bolt.
Copy 9.
Into the bottom left.
Roger.
You are currently going to view of Bob Benken's helmet cam as he finishes up untightening bolts on the H fixture.
Copy 8.
The bottom right is released after 8 turns as well. You can kind of feel the bolts come loose. It stops having inner alignment. The only thing I can feel, sometimes you can feel thread skipping. I couldn't feel that, but I could feel it was with my trying to maintain alignment. And
we copy. As Bob sews the PGT and preps the tools, the pliers, I guess, Chris, we need a glove half and gauntlet when it's convenient.
That's right, gauntlet, big blue. Glove, no change.
Copy.
did you put both of the pliers in?
Yeah.
And then go for the wrench after you felt like it was
yeah.
released, so you didn't try to stage the wrench at all? Seems like it would just float out.
For me, the pliers were not going to go anywhere, but the wrench was going to float away. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's that sun again.
Yeah.
Is there a MOI covering your...
Yeah, on one side.
yeah.
You feel it kind of slide?
I think so.
Yeah.
With all boats removed, Bob Benken is now trying to pry the fixture away.
And Bob, same words that Chris and I were talking about. If it helps, it is deceiving to me how far in the pliers have to go. And in the WVS, it looks as though the top plier, it's free now, but where you had it, there's still room for it to go in probably another half an inch before it will engage the detent.
That's the side with the MLI, right?
Yeah.
That top one looks pretty good to us now, Bob.
I think I got them both in at the same distance. It does take some punch.
Yeah, it does.
A little bit slippery on that MLI as well. Okay, so now for the wrench. It's free.
All right.
Nice.
Good job with the tools, guys. I wonder if we could, the next guy's color, put some markings on there so that you know how deep the pliers go.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good idea. I'll note it. Same thing here, Bob. We'll be taking the H fixture back to the bag with all your tools, obviously, and just looking to get some good footage of the GSE pad before you leave.
Success has happened. Both Chris Cassidy and Bob Behnken have removed 1A and 3BH fixtures at their respective work sites.
I'll get you some good pictures as well.
Sounds good, Bob.
What are you guys thinking? Bob, you need a hand, or should I make my way back to the APFR and stuff?
I think you could make your way back to at least back to your APFR.
Okay.
Right, and then
Get that organized.
Yeah, and then if you were gonna, I think we had talked about dropping a PGT there, so there's something to do. Might as well do that now, or you could just take it to the airlock, I guess.
And we think those are all good words, Chris. We have you taking the IEA APFR and crew lock bag back to the airlock for the APFR swap. But if you did want to work in a PGT drop-off or setting up the APFR for Bob, that's all good too.
Okay. Like the idea of the PGT just going in this bag, medium ORU bag. That's what you're talking about, right, Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it'll do.
We copy PGT into the ORU bag. And so then, Chris, just to make sure we're on the same page, big picture-wise, after you drop the PGT off, we show you collecting the IEA, APFR, and crew lock bag and taking it back to the airlock.
I concur.
Copy. And the one...
Yeah, I've got several...
Go ahead.
Several photos here. I was just trying to manage the light from IW helmet lights to try to give you something. But there should be plenty of pictures.
Copy.
All right, Josh, I am giving up my PGT and its RET, and I've also given up my adjustable for the H fixture.
Chris, we copy all and concur. In terms of equipment, Chris, one reminder we had for you was the MUT end effector. We think you have the GoPro still on you, but that the MUT was left back, so we'll want to take that with us when you pass it.
Yep, I got the MUT end effector and an adjustable from it on my body.
Copy.
And the pry bar is also in the bag.
Copy, pry bar in the bag.
Don't quite close it up because,
Yeah, just gonna close one thing. Unless you want me to leave it totally open.
nope, I'm gonna. You can close one thing. That sounds fine.
Yep, one thing closed.
And then for Bob, in terms of the bag that you're packing, we will look to inventory that when it's convenient for you.
Copy.
With the H fixture removed, Bob Benken is now going to take pictures of the GSE pad or the work site that he's just removed the fixture.
I've retrieved the H fixture and its associated adjustable, and I will be making my way back down.
Copy, Bob.
Bob, your GoPro is right next to the bag, and I did turn it off for that battery conservation.
Thank you.
Copy, GoPro off.
All right, Josh, so I have with me my GoPro, an end effector, an adjustable. That was all the GoPro assembly. And I have, I think I've tagged up with you, but I've given up a adjustable and a from my PGT and my PGT.
Chris, we copy all. We're with you.
Ready to the APFR left bag bundle.
Copy, Chris.
Moving it.
We copy. And for Chris and Bob, there's the 2-hour mark, 2 hours. We're approximately 15 minutes ahead on timeline. We have a 7:05 PT limited right now by Bob's Medox.
7:05.
Wow, that's a lot of. Cherish that number, my friend.
Yeah. 7:05.
Affirmative. And with that timeline discussion, Chris, if you concur, we think you definitely have the time here to make your way out to the ESP2 with 5 for the APFR exchange.
Okay, I concur. Bob, I'm going to head out unless you need something.
Nope, I'm just putting tools in the bag and then doing the inventory that you keep not getting to do.
We are currently 2 hours.
I need a glove, hap, and gauntlet, but your discretion, either before or after the inventory.
Okay. My hap is still dry. My gauntlets are both up. And my right glove looks to still be in steam condition. And no change on my left glove.
Copy, Bob.
Just looked back towards structure and there's this big bright red light and I was thinking, what the heck is that? I realized it's Ritz. Oh, it's Ritz.
Affirmative, it's on.
We are currently 2 hours and 1 minute into the spacewalk. The International Space Station is currently flying 260 statute miles above the North Pacific Ocean. We just heard Bob Benken give a glove and hap check to ensure that there's no rips, scrapes, or stains on his gloves for continuing the spacewalk. I'm now going to toss it back to my colleague, Leah Cheshire.
An adjustable that I had previously retrieved from my fairly.
Copy, Bob.
Hook. Got it.
Thank you, Shaniqua. And we're coming up, actually, we just passed the 2-hour mark. In today's spacewalk, the astronauts set their suits to internal battery power this morning at 6:12 a.m. Central, 7:12 a.m. Eastern. It's been a successful spacewalk so far, and currently our spacewalkers, Chris Cassidy and Bob Benken, are about 15 minutes ahead of the timeline. Their first task outside of the hatch was to install the RITS. That's the Robotics Tool Storage, a protective unit outside the station, providing thermal and physical protection for tools. They routed the associated cables for the RITS, and it is now powered on and working well. The astronauts then worked to remove the 1AH fixture. The H fixtures needed to be removed for future power system upgrades and were originally attached for ground processing the solar arrays prior to launch. After a little difficulty on the July 1st spacewalk with removing these H fixtures, we saw success today with the astronauts using a wrench and some pliers to remove those H fixtures.
Stand straight up.
Both the 1AH fixture and the 3BH fixture have been removed, and in the middle of those tasks, Bob Benken also completed cleanup around the integrated electronics assembly, the work site for the previous 3 spacewalks.
Copy, Chris.
The astronauts are now cleaning up the current H-fixture work site. You can see one H-fixture floating in front of the helmet camera of Bob Benken. Following this cleanup, they will head back to the airlock where they will conduct a safety tether reset in preparation for their next task. That next task will to be preparing the Node 3 end cone, that's the Tranquility module, for the NanoRacks airlock. That will be the first commercial airlock on the space station and should launch on a SpaceX rocket later this fall. Following preparation of that work site, the duo will then begin cable routing. Following cable routing and a lens filter removal, today's spacewalk will be complete.
Hey Josh, in the BMORU bag, I have a PGT number 2 with associated RET. That RET came from my swing arm. Got an adjustable tether to an H fixture. Got a second adjustable tether to an H fixture. I've got a RET to an adjustable with a combo wrench on it. Another adjustable with the 2 pliers. There's also a RET, a trash bag, and a RET to an adjustable with Tyler in Chris's PGT. There's an additional RET with a hammer and a PRS pen tool and its associated sheath. Both PGTs have batteries and wobble sockets.
Copy, Bob. Bob, just to make sure, the 2 pliers on the adjustable, is that on a RET as well going into the bag, that adjustable?
Into the adjustable with the combo wrench.
Copy, it runs to the combo wrench.
There's also one single free available RET inside of the bag, just tethered with nothing on it.
Copy. And Bob, that's a good internal config on the bag. You can pack it.
If you're watching online with us today, you can join the conversation by using the hashtag AskNASA. Submit your questions and tune in. We might just be able to answer them on the air. This one is from Kate, who asks, on average, while conducting EVAs or spacewalks, how many hours worth of oxygen do astronauts have in their suits before they need to head back inside? A spacewalk can typically last anywhere from 6 to 8.5 hours because each spacewalk has 2 oxygen tanks. However, the amount of time an astronaut has using that oxygen varies based on their oxygen consumption and the carbon dioxide produced by the crew member. That carbon dioxide removal system allows for that longer spacewalk. So as some astronauts consume more oxygen than others, they have a longer amount of time outside the hatch.
What my goal is.
Affirmative. The goal is 6 Papa Papa F6 with the APFR and ingress aid in that with 5.
Copy all.
And Bob, big picture-wise, we'll be taking the bag over to the with 6 APFR. But before we leave the IEA for the last time, we want to verify the PVR pit pin in place.
Okay, copy. The external portions of this bag looks like it's got a large, small, and a small, small.
Copy, a large, small, and a small, small. We're checking. Bob, we're just trying to make sure we have all the adjustables we came out with. Can you confirm how many you have on your person before we head in?
I have one on my wrist and one on my mini workstation.
Copy.
Clocked at 6. The 2 black lines are aligned on the locking feature. Middle, full. The APFR with ingress aid is installed.
Copy installed.
Quebec, moving Quebec to Papa.
Josh, I'm standing by.
And Bob, we're just trying to make sure on the adjustables. So the 2 fair leads you took out at the start of the day, we're tracking that one went to a bag and then ended up being used for a H fixture. Do you have the second one on you? Do you know?
The second one was just used for the second H fixture.
Copy. Bob, sorry, we're just doing a last-minute check. Stand by.
Teams here on the ground working with the astronauts to conduct tools and tether checks before heading on to their next task.
And Chris, when you're able, we just wanted to ask you how many total adjustables you have on your person, and then we're going to move on from it.
That are not associated with this crew lock bag, you mean?
Yeah, it's affirmative on your mini workstation or your BRT.
0.
Copy 0.
6, Papa, box 6, the pitch joint is locked, and the ingress aid is flat against the boot plate. The wire tie was not moved.
Copy, Chris. Good config.
Okay, guys, I'm going to just go ahead and move to check the radiator pit pin, and then come back to the bag, and then clear out of here all at once.
Copy, Bob. And it turns out we noticed the PVR pit pin in your WVS, so no need to head back over to it, and we're good for you to start translating.
Okay. Did you account for all the adjustables, or there's one more in this bag that I missed?
So we're still working on that. We think there might be one more in the bag that we missed. But to be clear, the consensus here is we'll get moving. We'll find it later.
I'm going to pick up my green hook.
Copy, Bob. So big picture here. Bob, you'll be taking the ORU bag and EP APFR over to the starboard seated cart. Chris, you'll be taking the APFR you just removed back to the airlock, and then once that's all done, we'll sync up for the tether work.
Okay, copy. And my green hook is closed and locked onto my red reel.
Copy, Bob. Good config.
Josh, what's the clocking for this extender?
Yeah, so at the width 11 width extender, we don't have specific settings required. We just need you to tell us how you leave it. Low profile is the best.
This is the sticky one.
As our astronauts prepare for their next task, which is actually heading back to the airlock to do some safety tether resets, we have another Ask NASA question regarding the temperature outside the station. TJ asks, at what temperature does the sun hit your suits? At the closest point to the sun, as opposed to the furthest point away before darkness? As you can see, it's currently dark outside the International Space Station because we are in an orbital nighttime, with the station orbiting 262 statute miles over the South Pacific Ocean. This means it can be negative 250 degrees outside. When in the sunlight, it can be 250 degrees positive outside. The astronauts have a special cooling garment underneath their suits, and they can constantly control the temperature to ensure they are either cool or warm whenever they are in or out of the sunlight.
And the blocking black lines are aligned on the width into the width extender, and the width extender is also confirmed. Locked in there. I think that's installed.
Copy, Chris. We concur. Good install. Chris, if just before you leave, make sure that pitch knob is popped out for us.
Is
Copy.
firm block. I'll open the thermal cover.
Your go for that. We see opening the thermal cover and stowing the bag.
The waist tether is closed and locked. And the airlock D-ring extender.
Copy,
the
waist.
Crew hook side is closed and locked on my right D-ring extender.
We copy, Chris. Good config.
Hey, Josh, I've got the 4U bag bundled to the APFR, and it's the APFR is tethered to my BRT. I'm going to release the APFR, show it on my BRT.
We copy and concur, Bob.
And Josh, I'm going to take an adjustable from the outside of this crew lock bag and restock my BRT.
Copy that, Chris.
You know, my BRT has an adjustable on it.
Copy that. And so, big picture, gents, Bob, we show you headed to the APFR to install that, or CETA card rather, to make the install in WIF 5. Again, here we don't have any particular settings. We just want it low profile, and we'll look to hear those settings from you. And then for Chris, once you're complete with the bag ops there and the tether moves, we'll come back outside the airlock and walk through some of the pit pin inspection steps.
Okay. I'll let you know when ready.
From NASA astronaut Bob Benken's helmet camera, this view right here, you can see he's holding the APFR. That's the articulating portable foot restraint. That gives the astronauts a place to secure their footing and work from whenever at a different work site. He's going to be moving that to a different WIF or work site interface near the CETA cart. CETA stands for Crew and Equipment Translation Aid.
Chris, I'm headed back inboard.
Roger that. I am secured to the, in a load path manner to the airlock viewing extender.
Copy.
We're currently in a satellite handover of our tracking data and relay satellite system, so you're checking out a view of the International Space Station Flight Control Room, where teams are monitoring systems aboard the station and the spacewalkers themselves. You might have noticed the crew members using GoPros throughout the spacewalk, and this question from Burton wonders what they are used for. The GoPros are used to capture video footage of the work sites before and after the astronauts' tasks are complete. That footage is afterwards sent to the ground for later evaluation. The GoPros also capture some pretty stunning video footage of the Earth, as recently shared by NASA astronaut Chris Cassidy on Facebook and Twitter.
Time and 10 EVAs going into the staging bay.
First time for everything.
Yep. Hey Josh, I've got the still camera.
Copy, Chris. And so, Chris, like you're doing there, we see as many pictures as you can grab. And the first bullet that the team here was interested in is just looking to make sure that the grounding strap wasn't pinched behind the pit pin and that there wasn't any other kind of FOD behind it, preventing it from going all the way in.
Affirmative. Grounding strap is not pinched.
Copy that. The second question was looking for your thoughts on how or if it would be possible to tie the pit pin in place so that it couldn't come out. And options here were to secure the pit pin itself or to secure the lanyard that is connected to the tip pin. To install, tie down either of those with a wire tie. Let us know if you think that would work.
I'm trying to make sure I picture correctly the
Hatch closed.
hatch closed.
And Josh, I'm cleared to continue all the way to the CETA card. Is that right?
Affirmative, Bob.
You want me to stop at this anchor point? Okay.
This view from Chris Cassidy's helmet camera shows the astronaut is at the airlock of the International Space Station, where he and Bob Benken egressed this morning. Cassidy is conducting a PIP pin inspection, that stands for push and pull pin. Meanwhile, Benken is on his way to the CETA cart, the Crew Equipment Translation Aid, to install an APFR. That's an articulating portable foot restraint. Once complete, he will join Cassidy at the airlock, and the two will conduct a tether reset before moving on to their next task, preparing the Tranquility module for the future installation of the NanoRacks airlock.
Chris, we see you taking lots of pictures. Thanks for that. Reminder here was that, if possible, we're looking for the still photos and GoPro.
One of the lanyards, I don't know if you, on the aft side hatch, there's an aft pit pin kind of back in there. The lanyard is tucked around the spring mechanism. It's not part of the problem we're talking about, but I think it loosens up once the hatch closes.
Copy.
It's different from the other side is what I'm saying.
Roger that.
As Bob Benken prepares to install this articulating portable foot restraint, you may be getting a glimpse at two small mirrors on his wrist. So good eye, Kess. He says he's currently watching the spacewalk and wondering what that mirror is. The primary reason the crew wears these mirrors on their wrists is to be able to see the front of their spacesuit because that's out of view. The labeling on the front of the spacesuit is written in mirror image because it's intended to be read via those mirrors. This helps the astronauts be able to see the switches and labeling on the front of the suit, including for things like volume, display contrast, and even their cooling settings.
Copy, Bob.
Clocking is 7. Clocking of 7. Pitches Papa. Get you rolling, y'all, once the bag is off.
I copy 7, Papa.
Feeling any better about that thing, Chris?
Well, instructions don't move it in the bad direction, so they're both fully smushed in, you know?
Yeah.
So without moving anything, I'm not really getting any concrete data. I'm not advocating moving it. I'm just,
Yeah.
Chris, we have an ask here. If you can point at the aft issue that you were talking about with the lanyard, just point at the aft lanyard and WVS. Thanks.
the other ones are nice and loose.
Okay, copy. Thanks. It's helpful. I have one more question for you, and that's just your thoughts as you look at that on a pip pin replacement. So if we were to try to replace the forward pip pin, how's the access, and specifically, do you have access to the bolt head tying down at the lanyard?
Yes. You need a kind of IVA tool, but I'm sure the OSOs can come up with that plan.
Okay, copy that.
I think you'd need, I think it's called a universal joint that allows the tool to bend in 2 axes.
Roger. And for Bob, when you're able to look to confirm that the pitch knob is back out.
Yes, the pitch knob was back out.
And we see it. We see your finger action on the pip pin, Chris.
What else can I do for you here, Josh? I think GoPro's complete.
Yeah, we're asking around the room, but it sounds like that's it for questions we have right now. Thanks very much.
And the remainder of the settings are Foxtrot 9, Josh, for the APFR and with 5.
Copy Fox 9er, Bob. Thank you. And so that's good. We're synced up at pretty much the same time between Bob and Chris. All we've got left to do is the anchor reset. So, Bob, let us know when you're out there.
With Bob Benken's APFR, or Articulating Portable Foot Restraint, installed, he is now moving back to the airlock to join Chris Cassidy, whose helmet camera view you see here, for a tether reset. We are 2 hours and 36 minutes into today's spacewalk.
I'm at the anchors.
Copy, Bob. So you can tether to Chris's anchor hook. It should be on 3061.
Copy.
And then, Chris, when you're ready, you can give Bob a go to release your anchor hook.
I am tethered to your anchor hook.
Roger.
Okay. I'm ready.
Tethered in the airlock.
All right, and I'll confirm one more time. On the airlock D-ring extender, my waist tether is closed and locked on the big hook side, and closed and locked on my right waist tether, or D-ring extender on the crew hook side. I'm ready, Bob.
Okay. And go ahead, Josh, for the next.
Affirmative. So, Bob, you're going to release Chris's anchor, and it's going to go to your red reel where the green hook is attached.
Okay. Just for everybody's awareness, I'm going to actually attach it to the waist tether that is attached to my seat. With the waist tether on there, there's not room for another hook on there.
Copy, Bob. We're checking. And, Bob, we're good with that.
Chris's anchor is closed and locked to my right waist tether hook, which is also closed and locked.
We copy, Bob. That's a good config. You can retrieve your anchor hook from 3060, stow it on your mini workstation.
Copy.
Cover's closed.
Copy, closed.
Okay, I've retrieved my anchor hook.
Copy, Bob. Your go to translate to the airlock. Reminder on both CETA carts to double tap basically the last brake that you pass.
Copy. You've got everything you need for the APFR, correct? With 5.
Affirmative.
Okay.
We are 2 hours and 40 minutes into today's spacewalk, and as we mentioned earlier, today he will not see any battery removal or replacement occurring, contrary to the previous 3 spacewalks. The astronauts moved speedily through those removal and replacement of nickel hydrogen to lithium-ion batteries in the first 3 spacewalks, leaving time for these other upgrades. There is one final battery to be installed, a lithium-ion battery that is currently on the space station. The battery it will be replacing tripped last year and was rendered and was needed to be disposed of, so it was replaced with nickel hydrogen batteries. Those will be removed and replaced by that lithium-ion battery in a future spacewalk.
And Chris, just a comment on the camera without MLI. Our preference is that that one stays in the airlock just due to some thermal consids on it.
No problem.
I'm almost back with the other one, Chris.
Okay, then I got you inside.
This view of NASA astronaut Bob Behnken on his way to the airlock to meet up with Chris Cassidy. You can tell this is Behnken by the red stripes around the legs on his spacesuit. That designates him as EV-1, or the lead spacewalker for today. Today marks the 10th spacewalk for both Benken and Cassidy.
Large ORU bag, and I'm bringing back a medium.
Concur.
And we can leave the medium outside, or does it need to go back to the airlock?
Let me ask.
I'm right here with I got a hook foot away from me. It can go in there.
Okay, sounds good.
Like 2 seconds. It's the same effort, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Copy.
And we concur with that plan. We're also good for the medium ORU bag to stay outside, either option.
In this view from Chris Cassidy's, or from Bob Benken's helmet camera, you caught a glimpse of the blue Earth below. That's the South Atlantic Ocean as the International Space Station flies 268 statute miles above.
Ready.
moving my BRT route.
Okay.
And you have the bag.
Got the bag. I'm just going to real quick tidy up the camera.
That's good.
We copy.
Didn't melt. Okay. Camera without MOI is stowed in the staging bag.
Copy.
Going out, Chris, I'll get your picture.
Coming out. Where'd you go? Where?
I'm on the airlock.
A quick handover of that tracking data and relay satellite system. The astronauts are preparing to reset their safety tethers before heading out to continue the work for the day. The next task for them will be preparation for the future installation of a NanoRacks airlock.
Anchor hooks, I agree. Both my paper handles are down.
I can see both of your safer handles are down.
It looks like I got a non-retracting, just a little bit, a little. Okay.
We copy safers down. Can you just say again the remark about the non-retracting? Were you talking about a reel?
Take each other really out.
Each other reel, it's fixed.
Okay, copy. We lost you there for a bit of a longer handover, but next up we'll do the anchor resets. Bob's yours going to the forward external D-ring.
My hook is closed and locked from my green reel to the forward D-ring.
Copy, Bob. Take Chris's anchor hook to the aft D-ring.
Okay, that's in work. The two anchor hook closed and locked. Aft D-ring.
We copy EV2's closed and locked to the aft D-ring. Chris, Bob, when you guys are ready, Chris, you can give the go for Bob to, Chris, you'll release your waist tether from the airlock D-ring extender.
It's complete. Thermal cover coming close.
Copy, closed.
And I'm working on retrieving the large ORU bag.
Josh, what part of the world are we over?
Blue part.
There's a big brown part down there, too.
Yeah. I've got the large ORU bag onto my BRT. I think we play follow the leader.
Mm-hmm.
Copy,
No
Bob.
tree. Is it Africa?
You'd be amazed at how much discussion this is generating.
If you heard the NASA astronauts discussing where they might be coming up,
Africa, probably Angola.
Okay.
they are approaching the coast of Africa, Angola specifically.
Okay, Bob, I think I'm ready to go if you are.
I am ready to go.
And going aft and up, and can put my tether in a way that suits you if you'd like.
Okay. That is low profile like you read about, Chris.
Hard for me to find material to read about that.
And we concur, go to translate, reminder on the Node 1 path to avoid CP12 WETA, the Node 1 bags, and the CETA light.
Bag and the CETA light. Okay, copy all. A quick check for dope. I'll come on down here for a sec.
And Chris, we did lose your WVS. We think you might have bumped the power switch.
Oh, my bad. Under, keep going under.
Bob Benken and Chris Cassidy are now on their way to their next work site. That's Node 3, or Tranquility. That's where the life support systems for the International Space Station are housed. They'll be working specifically at the end cone, as this is where the NanoRacks airlock will be delivered in the future. The airlock will be the first commercial airlock on the space station and will launch on a SpaceX rocket later this fall. Today, the astronauts will be preparing the area for that future installation.
And Chris, as you approach Node 3, further caution to avoid touching the CBM pedals on beam.
Okay. Great. Cover zone B.
Hey, friend, we have your WVS back.
Look at that.
WVS stands for Wireless Video System. That's the helmet camera view you're getting right now. This one is currently from Bob Benken's helmet camera. Chris Cassidy just reset his so that we're receiving imagery from his helmet camera as well.
Right on. Yep. Is that bright sun again?
Coming up on 3 hours into today's spacewalk, which started at 6:12 a.m. Central, 7:12 a.m. Eastern Time, a look back at what the astronauts have accomplished so far. Their first task of the day was to install the Robotics Tool Storage, or RITS, onto the mobile base system. The RITS is a protective storage unit outside the station for tools, and it will provide thermal and physical protection. Following that installation and cable routing, the duo moved to the 1AH fixture. Those H fixtures were used for ground processing of the solar arrays prior to launch, but needed to be removed for future power system upgrades. Following some trouble on the first attempt to remove those on July 1st, we saw a clean removal today of that 1AH fixture. In the meantime, Bob Benken was cleaning up the integrated electronics assembly worksite from the previous 3 spacewalks. He then moved on to remove the 3BH fixture, another one of those fixtures originally used for ground processing. The astronauts cleaned up that work site and moved back to the airlock to reset their safety tethers. They are now en route to the Tranquility module, also known as Node 3, to prepare it for the NanoRacks airlock deliver later this year.
Field center disk cover in Node 3 itself.
Copy.
Chris, you're
Coming around the corner.
Roger.
Chris is green hook on 0652. And Bob, we had 0649 for your green hook, if that works.
Okay, copy.
I keep mine on the nadir side. You can flick from Bob, or would you really like it?
And Chris, no, it's your discretion. Just let us know where you drop it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just coming up on the other side, so I think we're naturally conflicted here.
I think it works out nicely. 0611.
And the astronauts have arrived at Node 3. You can see that end cone there. They will be removing and stowing the pressurized mating adapter cover. They will do some cable work and then tie back 3 axial shields.
And Chris and Bob, there's the 3-hour mark, 3 hours. We have 7-hour PET available, limited by MEDOX. We're roughly 10 minutes ahead of timeline.
Need a hand up there, Bob, or anything?
No, I just need to get my green hook taken care of.
Yep.
Green hook is on 0649.
Copy, Bob.
I can undo this side and flop it.
Okay.
Towards you.
There's the cupola, so I need to get the bag all the way up on that side, right?
Yeah.
A view here of the International Space Station Flight Control Room, where teams are monitoring station systems and the astronauts' suits, as well as walking them through their tasks today.
PMA cover have a home on HTV?
We'll ask. I don't know.
It's not important.
The hinge side to handrail. So 7, right, Josh?
And Bob, I missed the first part of your transmission, but if it's for the PMA bag, we plan to stow that up on 0654.
That's 1, so maybe one more radial over.
Yeah, it's basically the zenithmost point of Node 3.
0660.
Yeah, just to the aft of 0660. And we
right on top of this stuff.
As you can see, we don't currently have video communications with the International Space Station. These types of satellite handovers are tracked.
Opening up towards the vertical handrail 0660.
Copy.
However, as you can hear, we do still have audio communications with the station.
Okay, so it's tethered on this side. I'm going to release my ret. If it's convenient for you to get that side or not.
Where's the other desired spot?
0660.
60.
I think the zenith.
It's complete.
Right now we're going to open up the bag.
We concur. You'll be looking to take the crew lock bag and temp stow it. We were going to suggest handrail 0655. That's immediately stationed forward of your 0654.
So I think we want to open maybe one end of it.
This side, this is the backstop side, right?
Okay. So then that should
go. Oh, this one. You gotta get the crew lock bag out.
Yeah.
You just want to get the crew lock bag out or no?
I'm about to find out.
Yep.
And A for
that.
yeah, it's affirmative. We want to take the crew lock bag out and temp stow it forward of the ORU bag. We had handrail 0655.
I've got the crew lock bag. Out. Pass that to you.
Okay. That tether, here comes this integral tether.
And so, Chris, once you have that,
tether is secure.
we see it. Once the crew lock bag is down on its own tether, the tether running to the crew lock bag from the ORU bag is what we're going to run down to the PMA cover.
You can see we've regained video from the International Space Station. NASA astronaut Chris Cassidy on your right and Bob Benken on your left at Node 3, or the end cone of the Tranquility module.
Cover.
Their first task for this airlock preparation is to remove the PMA cover. That stands for Pressurized Mating Adapter.
Copy that.
Can you guys hear me from inside?
Yeah, I got you.
Got you loud and clear, Doug.
It looks like they're coming back. You just had a drop out of 1 and 2. We should be coming back any minute.
Copy.
Nice to see you over there, Doug.
You guys are looking good.
That's the voice of NASA astronaut Bob Benken, also on board the International Space Station, working from the inside today to support the spacewalk.
Try them on 3 and see what they want you to do.
Chris and Bob,
two of the feathers released? I have 2 and an adjustable.
2 adjustables released, is that right?
That's correct. I'm ready to do this one too.
And that's just Velcro, right? Velcro.
And that would be the voice of Doug Hurley inside the International Space Station. Bob Benken is down and to the left in the suit with the red stripe around the legs. And just behind him to the left is the Bigelow Expandable Activity Module, or BEAM.
This one to go.
Okay, and I have one right in front of me, okay?
Want me to do this one?
I want to do is see if there's any of this Velcro that's all over it. Because you found one down there.
I found 2. Here's another one.
Yeah, here's another one as well. And Josh, are you back with us?
And Bob, sorry about that. It looks like we are back with you now.
They're having that.
Got you loud and clear as well, Josh.
Okay, good news.
So all I see, Bob, is the adjustable in front of me and the adjustable in front of you.
Yep, I agree. Want to try to send that flap this way?
Absolutely, yeah. One more over there.
At the top.
I can go get it if you want to just stay there.
Yeah. And Josh, are you still with us?
And Bob, affirm, we are here. We're not sure how much of the column we missed with you, but in terms of the big picture, you should have the large ORU bag stowed and a ret running from it to the PMA cover. Is that about right?
That's correct. And we have 2, one of the adjustables released, working on Velcro straps. And then once we get the Velcro straps released, we'll start working on making the blanket smaller and releasing a little bit more.
Copy, and we concur. Velcro, straps off, and then stuffing the cover into the bag.
You can see that PMA, or pressurized mating adapter cover, hovering there, and just below it the ORU bag, the orbital replacement unit bag, where it will be stored. That's the first task in the preparation of the NanoRacks airlock for future installation.
Yeah, see on that one?
Okay. You can still see the tether back to the bag?
I can, yep. And so I think this adjustable will be the next one.
Yep, sounds good. There's another strap here. Okay, so if I fold that into you,
yep.
You get that strap on it? Adjustable that you had?
Mm-hmm.
You get the same strap as
the hook.
Yeah.
You can tell it's warmer over here in my hand.
Definitely warmer.
Yeah.
Okay. Question is, we try to make it one more fold or not?
end of the pizza towards the crust.
Let me release this last adjustable. So this is coming to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's that thing?
Okay, I'm going to hold it. Get the adjustable. Pushing it. Anything to hook it to?
Hook it to you. Hook.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, nice.
Okay. Now it should go back to the bag. I don't know if there's any point in trying to fold it one more time or not.
Maybe once it's right next to the bag.
Yeah. So that one is cinched up.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go circumferentially around to the other side so I can be on the other side of the bag.
Okay.
And that Node 3 pressurized mating adapter cover removed, the astronauts are now working to stow it into the ORU bag.
"20 seconds to handover."
In this view, you've got your flight control team for the day. Allison Bollinger is the lead flight director, down in the blue shirt and black jacket. To her right, Canadian Space Agency astronaut Joshua Kutrick serving as the ground IV and communicating the tasks from the ground to the International Space Station.
We just want to check that the bag is closed up, and then we're going to pause for club and half inspections from each.
Okay, the bag is closed up. You got the backstop end is cinched too, right? So,
yep.
App is dry, so that's still good. And gloves-wise, my right glove still looks to be in good condition. Left glove, a little bit more RTD on the index finger. But other than that, no change.
Copy, Bob.
And EV2, dry half. Gloves look really good, actually. I don't see any change at all.
Copy, Chris. So at this point, Chris, we're going to proceed with the cable tieback. This has you going in towards the center disk cover, and you're looking for the connection on the antenna side. It's 1004 plugged into, on the CBCS side, 1449. That's what we want to find and demate.
On the antenna side, 100. 1004, right here.
Affirmative. It should be plugged into 1449, and we're go for demate.
Chris Cassidy looking to disconnect and tie back the external wireless communications cable in this area.
Chris, for your positioning, once that demate is complete, 1004 will be getting tied back on the handrail that's sort of adjacent to your left boot. It'll be rail 0661.
0661.
Yeah, just on your left hand now. We show there being wire ties already there, a short one and a long one, and we'd like you to tie 1004 off to the white-taped long wire tie.
The white-taped long wire tie. Copy that.
And Bob, see you already over the center disk cover. We're going to be looking to pre-install one long wire tie on the Zenith CDC handhold.
Okay, first I'll put the cap on if that's okay.
Sounds good. It can mate to any cap.
Okay, there's only one available cap here.
Roger.
And then you want me to pre-install a wire tie to the Zenith.
Good words, Bob. Zenith CDC handhold, and the long side of that wire tie we want to bias towards the CBCS opening.
And Bob Benken just mated one of the cables Cassidy disconnected to an empty cap. He will now tie it back with a wire tie to secure it.
And Chris, as you go about that tieback of 1004, looking to make sure that it stays clear of the CBM ring.
Roger. Ball's always right side up.
I don't know about that.
So how this handrail got underneath the cable. Is this an on-orbit installed handrail? No? No, it's not.
And Chris, we don't think it is negative. Chris, further words on that tieback that we do. Shield 3 is going to be coming right on top of it, so as long as it's flat up against structure, we don't anticipate problems.
Okay.
This view from Chris Cassidy's helmet camera as he wire ties that cable back.
Back is complete.
Copy, Chris. Just finishing up some tiebacks with Bob. And Chris, if you wanted, you could position up by the crew lock bag. Next, you'll be retrieving 2 tether extenders for the shield tieback.
In this view here, you have a great view, actually, of those shields that are about to be tied back by the astronauts.
Your go to remove it, Chris.
You can see the numbers 2, 3, and 4. Cassidy and Benken will work simultaneously on shields 2 and 4 to tie those back and into place. And then Cassidy will move on to tie back shield 3 with Benken's help. This is all in preparation for the arrival of the NanoRacks airlock later this year.
And Bob, we see you starting to wrap the wire tie around those 3 legs. Just a reminder to open up the flap before you do end up pulling it all the way back.
Copy.
Looks good, Bob. And so at this point, looking to capture all 3 of those 1449 cable legs into your one long wire tie and gently pull it back to the edge of the CBCS opening, back strongly enough so that it doesn't get in the way and weakly enough so that we don't deform, kind of right in the middle.
Copy.
Oh, it's Behnken. Trivial.
And Chris, yeah, we concur. Chris, since you are working with pit pins already, well, a couple cautions there. Basically, the shields are good for tethers and translation when they're installed with the quarter turns, but once we start pulling them back, we want to limit any inputs onto the shields to 45 pounds force.
Okay.
Bob, checks for the end of your task, we'll be looking to confirm 3 half twists in the wire tie and then a WVS survey of the CBCS opening.
Okay. I've got that 3 half twists on the long wire tie. It appears to be pulled over to the pretty well and kind of a little bit integrated with the caps over here because there's a bunch of big bundle. See that configuration.
Copy, Bob. Copy on the 3 half twists and copy on the WBS. We see it. It looks to be in a good config. And Bob, I just received final word. We're happy with the CBCS. So next for you would be up to the crew lock bag to retrieve 2 tether extenders in preparation for the shield tiebacks.
Okay.
And the crew will be moving on to tying back those shields that you can see numbered there, 2, 3, and 4. You also may have noticed it got darker outside the International Space Station. The station is flying 261 statute miles over the North Pacific Ocean in an orbital nighttime.
To the crew lock bag.
Copy.